Four wide here on 3rd and goal. Again, the pump fake, and this time he will get sacked, lose the ball, and Mack took the ball away. Khalil Mack already paid. And this time he's going to go down. It's going to be picked off by Mack. Mack with the interception. And Mack will take it all the way in for a touchdown. How crazy was that? 28 yards, and Khalil Mack is already the defensive MVP of the season. Rodgers dancing, throwing for the end zone, and it is pulled in. Touchdown. Geronimo Allison in the pocket. Steps up, shoots it to Devontae Adams, and Adams dives for the end zone. Touchdown. Fires, that's caught. Randall Cobb into Chicago territory. Randall Cobb inside the 20-yard line. Randall Cobb is going to score. 75 yards. That is crazy. Why?
Years of hard work, and it was over for me in an instant.
Nothing moves the Blob.
It's the Blob Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. 773-966-2494 is the number if you want to call into the show. As you can see, it's just me, myself, and I in the room by myself. And I guess you're saying, leave me alone. That's the mood I was after that game on Sunday Night Football when Aaron Rodgers once again defeated the Chicago Bears in heartbreaking fashion. That's how I was in the mood for that. I was in leave me alone. I was very ticked off. I was extremely ticked off about a lot of things, and I may have overreacted a little bit. You know, I was very salty, as a lot of Bears fans was. But first of all, I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I predicted last week. I predicted last week on this show saying that it would be a close game, but Aaron Rodgers is going to have a fourth quarter comeback. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, which is inexcusable anyway. But it's not like I didn't see this coming, but it still hurt nonetheless. But hindsight, 24-23, Mitch Trubisky looked good for the first half. I'm going to get into Khalil Mack in a second for the fact that he didn't pretty much have much, or if any, of an impact in the second half of the ball game that led to that Aaron Rodgers comeback. But there's two key plays that stuck in my head from that loss. And I think some of you guys know where I'm going with this. Some of you guys know where I'm going with this. And it all points to one man. And that one man is Mr. Cal Fuller. Who I think NBC Sports, one talk show, I forgot which one it was, I think it was Pro Football Talk, named it the GOAT of the week. For two reasons. One, first of all, Cal Fuller got beat not by Devontae Adams, not by Randall Cobb, but Geronimo Allison, the third-string wide receiver. He got burnt by him on a deep pass. You can say, oh, he was right there in coverage. Oh, he almost had it. It was just a great play by Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you know what? And you know what? If this was most other people, if this was most other receivers, if this was most other corners, I'd be like, okay, fine, fair enough. But I'm going to blame all of you. I'm going to blame all of you for the reason why I'm so mad at Cal Fuller. Because you guys elevated this man to someone that's supposed to be a top 5, top 10 cornerback, which I don't think he's a top 5, top 10 cornerback. But if he's your number one guy at corner, you don't get beat by a guy named Geronimo Allison, the third stringer. The guy that his first name is what you do when you're jumping off somewhere. Geronimo! That's what you yell when you're jumping down somewhere. You don't get beat by someone like that. And if you want to, be that guy, say, you know what, that's just a great play. If you want me to give him all those excuses, fine. You want me to give him all those excuses? Cool with me. Fine, whatever. I'll let it go. I'll let it go for this one. All right, fine. But keep in mind, I said there's two reasons why I pointed to Cal Fuller. That's number one. Here's number two. What happened on that interception? It was right there. Easy pass. bad pass by Aaron Rodgers. A rare bad pass from Aaron Rodgers. You don't get too many opportunities like that against Aaron Rodgers. You saw Khalil Mack, who's an outside linebacker. You can say he's on the defensive line. You can see him. He had an interception earlier. He's a former defensive player of the year. He's someone that you elevate, that you expect greatness from. He's not supposed to be a guy that gets interceptions. He's supposed to be a guy that tackles people and sometimes gets sacks. He's the guy that you pay millions of money for. But you don't pay him millions of money to get interceptions. You pay him millions of money to get fumbles, which he got. You pay him millions of dollars to get sacks, which he got. Khalil Mack did his job. Cal Fuller in the hand, who you guys elevated. You guys elevated to elite status at cornerback, which I don't think is elite. The elite cornerbacks make that play. They make that easy interception. They ice the game. That's all that. Because before that Randall Cobb long touchdown, the game could have been well over with had your boy Cal Fuller, your top 5, top 10 cornerback Cal Fuller, had he caught that pass, had he caught that easy interception, game over. Bears upset Green Bay in Lambeau Field. Congratulations. Let's hoist Mr. Trubisky over our shoulders and look at Khalil Mack and think about that. But instead, your boy drops the pass, ends up costing him the game. That's your boy. Not mine. That's your boy. I don't think Cal Fuller's that good. I think he's mediocre at best. Is he trash? No. Is he as great as you guys think he is? Hell no. I think Cal Fuller is an average cornerback. But you guys going to get into arguments with me. You guys going to message me on Facebook, going to send me text messages, want to send me pictures, going to see, look at this. Look at this. That's just a great throw by a great quarterback. Look at all this stuff. I'm sorry. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. If you're going to put him at an elite level, I'm going to judge him on an elite level. I'll tell you this, though. What happened in the NFC Championship game with Richard Sherman? Great defense, too. Hey, what happened with him? Richard Sherman made those plays on great passes like, oh my God, that's such a perfectly thrown ball. Like that's such a perfectly thrown ball, but yet Richard Sherman was able to make a play. What happened with that? He was a great cornerback. He makes plays. What happens? What happened? We can even go to the Stephon Gilmore play in the AFC Championship. Perfectly thrown ball by Blake Bortles on fourth down, fourth and long. Perfectly thrown ball. But what happened? Stephon Gilmore. He made the squat. He stopped the play. He didn't even get burned in the play. He was side to side with him. But he made a great play. If you want to elevate Cal Fuller to elite status, you want to say he can ball, if you want to say he's a top 10 cornerback, then he has to make that play. He can't get burnt by a guy named Geronimo Allison. You can't make excuses for the man. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't treat the man like he's Deion Sanders and then want to make excuses when he's done up like he's Darrelle Reeves in his post New York Jet days. I'm not having it. Is this your king? Is this your king dropping interceptions? Is this your king, the man that getting burnt by third string wide receivers? Is that your king? Is that the guy you want to defend? Go ahead. You're only going to be disappointed. I'm just going to say I told you so. I'm just going to say I told you so every time. Every time there's a play on him. Y'all got me keeping a close eye on him. Because all offseason, all last year, when the Bears, even when they were losing, look at Cal Fuller making that 1-2 great plays. And you know the thing, that's the thing I hate. That's the thing I hate about people. I hated this with the Tiger Woods cover. I hate this with the Danica Patrick stuff. I hate this with Cal Fuller. You guys want to give out participation trophies. You guys want to give out participation trophies just because you like the person. I look at Richard Sherman. Look at Richard Sherman against Stephon Diggs. Against Stephon Diggs. He got done up. Stephon Diggs had embarrassed Richard Sherman on Sunday. I like Richard Sherman. I do. He's one of my favorite cornerbacks in the league. And I know we have our different opinions on certain social topics, but overall I like the guy. But just because I like the guy, I don't mean he's from criticism. Just because I like Richard Sherman, I'm not gonna say he's a top 5 cornerback, even though I still think he's better than Cal Fuller. Just because I like the guy doesn't mean I'm going to shy away from saying, oh man, you know what? He got done up by Stephon Diggs, but that's okay. No, I'm gonna say the older Sherman would never let that happen. If you like, that's all I'm saying is that you guys need to learn to see what people for what they truly is, despite how you feel about them. I like Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. Derek Carr, I always joke, he's my quarterback. He's my teammate. I like Derek Carr, too. For the past year, and including Monday night game, he sucked. Absolutely sucked. You gotta take off the rose-tinted glasses. You gotta stop that romantic violin music playing in the background. You guys just need to start seeing your guys for who they truly are. And for Kyle Fuller, a mediocre cornerback. That's all I'm asking from all this. You would need to stop elevating somebody who's mediocre to elite status just because you like the guy. Just because he's better than trash doesn't make him elite. Kyle Fuller isn't trash, but he's not as good as you guys think he is. 773-966-2494, the number you want to call. It's the Blob Show on Chicagoland SportsRadio.com. So obviously talking Bears football, Bears and Packers. Coming up after the break in a few minutes, I'm going to talk about the Bears versus the Seahawks, my former favorite team before political status got in the way of that. But, you know, I know what you're thinking. Why aren't you criticizing the whole defense about that? Because, one, Aaron Rodgers does this to everybody. And the thing, Marty Bennett show full of what's up. Exactly. See, Josh, this is why you my dude. This is why I'm my dude. Congrats to your Eagles, by the way. Aaron Rodgers does to everybody. On one hand, number two, I could also say, even though the great quarterbacks, I'm not even mad at the whole defense in general. I'm mad at certain play, but I'm not mad at the whole defense in general because elite quarterbacks are going to find a way to win no matter what. We see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl defeat a great defense in Seattle. See him beat an underrated defense in the Falcons when it came back 28-3. Aaron Rodgers, you know, he finds a way to beat everybody for the most part. So, and even still, you can talk about how Aaron Rodgers does Hail Marys and all that. So that's why I can't get mad at the whole defense on it. They're going to be fine. The defense is going to be just fine. Khalil Mack only having one sack. I mean, didn't have to do anything in the second half. He's going to be just fine. As far as defense as a whole, I'm not worried. But as far as Kyle Fuller being a shutdown corner, I don't buy it. That's just my opinion. So Bears defense is gonna be fine. Bears offense. I'll say this though. I will say this though. And I'm gonna touch a little bit more on that when I talk about the Seahawks and Bears. Hey Mitch, you played good for the first half. But I'm going to need you to play 2 halves of football, all right? When you see Aaron Rodgers coming, when you see him starting to dice up the defense a little bit, when you realize, oh man, maybe just step up and start looking like the Mitch Trubisky that was making some good passes in the first half. When I need to make sure that Aaron Rodgers can commit a comeback, make sure I score some points. I'm going to need you to score more points in the second half, all right? 3? Really? 3 points ain't good enough. Especially against elite teams like the Packers. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So Mitch, you ain't free either. You ain't free from criticism either. I like you. Again, I like you, but you ain't free from criticism just because I like you. That's all I'm saying. But that was pretty much my take on this, and I'm glad. And again, I'm not gonna sing the praise of Aaron Rodgers. You got ESPN and all these other networks to do that for you and beat it over your head for Aaron Rodgers. We know Aaron Rodgers is great. So I'm not going to sing the praise of him anymore than you've already heard. You're sick of it. I'm sick of it. All of us sick of it.
Nothing moves the blob.
You know, I had this song out of my head for a long time. And then 2K came out and put it back in my head, and I've been listening to this song ever since. And I've been dripping in finesse ever since then again. It's the Blob Show, SportsRadio.com, 773-966-2494 is the number. If you want to call into the show and yell about me, about Kyle Fuller and whatnot. And a little correction, it was 6 points they scored in the second half, not 3, so I apologize for that. Still, you gotta get touchdowns instead of just field goals. That's not gonna be Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry. But that was Sunday night. We're going to get ready for football on Monday night as the Bears are at home. They have their home opener against a team that I'm very familiar with, the Seattle Seahawks. Both teams coming off losses. Both teams are expected to lose. And this game is pretty interesting. This game is pretty interesting to say the least. Obviously, the Bears have a new new weapons everywhere on offense and on defense. Their weapons shown in the first half, not but the second half, the Packers defense stepped up. And the thing I feel about the Packers, I'm just going to last thing. The thing I feel about the Packers, what makes them potential Super Bowl contenders, is the fact that A, Aaron Rodgers, and B, if they continue to have the bend but don't break defense that they showed against Chicago Bears, then I can see them going to the Super Bowl again because of that. Bend but don't break. They don't have to be. Obviously, don't have to be the Bears talent or have Legion of Boom talent or Jacksonville Jaguar talent. They don't have to have all of that. But if they have a bend but don't break talent, if they have a bend but don't break mentality, and you got Aaron Rodgers, then they could go far. That's my last thing on that. But the thing that makes this game interesting is while the Bears have improved in many aspects of it over the offseason, the Seahawks have lost a lot over the offseason. Sherman went to San Francisco 49er. Cam Hampton retired. Now, Doug Baldwin was supposed to be the guy, but now he's hurt. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. He's not going to play against the Chicago Bears. Their offensive line, their defense, that trash. They got whooped. They got passed all over by Case Keenum. They got absolutely destroyed. Von Miller was able to force fumbles, and so it's a lot of factors make this game very, 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 very interesting and very competitive. Because on one hand, you got a team that's Russell Wilson or bust, but Russell Wilson's pretty good. I personally don't put him in the top 5 quarterbacks. He's the top 10, but definitely not in my top 5 like he's in most other people's top 5. Again, that's something that we can argue back and forth about. Mr. I want to pass the ball on the 1-yard line while I audible into a run because I did stupid. But that's what I do. That's who I am. It is what it is. It is what it is for Russell. It is with Russell Wilson, though. I think he's good at escaping pressure, and that's what's going to be the major key. I feel like that's going to be the major key. In fact, where's my sound clip? Where is my sound clip? I have to find it. Where's DJ? Hey, DJ Kyle, you're a little bit late on this. Here we are. So you know what I'm gonna do? I know he's not here. I recognize that Elijah isn't here, but I'm still gonna give you the major key.
So let me give you a major key.
Major keys for this game. I'm gonna start with the Seattle Seahawks this time. It's Russell Wilson or bust. Like I said, it's Russell Wilson or bust. But it's gonna come down to Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas had an interception last week. He was the one shining spot of the DV. Still one of the best safeties in the league. Guys don't have Cam or Sherman behind them. They don't have a good secondary. Linebackers are decent, or Bobby White is really good. They do have a good defensive line. But overall, that secondary still got messed up. So Earl Thomas is going to have to be in a lot of plays. I think he's very fast. I used to joke and say he's the fastest man in the league. But a guy that can, he's very fast. He's going to have to be there for a lot of tackles and save a lot of plays from going the distance. And so it maybe one of those safety blitz that can be a huge play and cause a huge turnover for the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Bears. But as far as the Bears go, it's simple. I would say it's Mitch Trubisky rightfully say that, hey, you gotta have to outdo Russell Wilson because they're gonna have to pass a lot because I don't believe in their running back either. But I'm the Seahawks running back, not the Bears running back. They're fine. Jordan Howard looked good. Tariq Cohen looked good. They looked good in that game against Green Bay, even though they didn't only score 6 points in the second half. I know Mitch Trubisky's gonna have to step up. I know they're gonna have to step up. But I think they'll be fine. But it's gonna be up to Khalil Mack. The Mac attack, the return of the Mac. Oh my God, here I am, here I go. Whatever ad libs you want to put onto it. But Khalil Mack and that defensive line. I say over and over again, I don't believe in that Seahawks defensive line. At least with the Bears, at least with the Packers defensive line. Aaron Rodgers like to move around the pocket, and he has a quick snap, and he fires around. He has a quick release, and that he's a very intelligent quarterback. So like 1 or 2 step drops, or even a 1-step drop or one knee you can still produce things. And that Packers defensive line is pretty smart, and they keep Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers has time, he has a lot of trouble. And they're not nearly as bad as many people blame them for. The Seahawks, on the other hand, I think they're terrible. I think that the Bears defensive line should be licking their chops to take on Russell Wilson's offense. I don't think that running game should be good at all. Like I said, Doug Baldwin is injured. The ball was injured, so there goes their number one guy. Hey, you know what, Kyle Fuller? You're guarding Tyler Lockett. And Tyler Lockett's not bad. I think he's an underrated talent, and I don't think he's gonna be like a top 10 or top 20 wide receiver. But he's underrated, and he's very fast. Hey, Kyle Fuller, you're gonna get burnt by him too. At least that's a little bit more reasonable than Geronimo Allison. At least Tyler Lockett's fast. He had a few punt returns. At least he's like super fast. He's got a lot of speed. You can make a little bit of excuse for that, Kyle Fuller. But again, he's not the number one receiver, even though you're the number one corner. I should make you the major key. I should be petty like that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be petty like that. I know this is a show that used to be called "It's Petty and Educated," but I'm not going to be petty. I'm going to say Khalil Mack and that defensive line is going to have to make a couple of sacks. I think Khalil Mack has. Here's my stat line. I think Khalil Mack for Monday night's game is going to have 5 tackles. 2 for loss. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think tackles for loss count the same as sacks. But if they do, I'm gonna say 3 for loss. I'm gonna say he has 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 other tackles because he's in on a couple plays. So I think Khalil Mack and that defense is gonna have to do something. And maybe Roquan Smith, if he comes in the game, if he gets a little bit more playing time with him and Danny Trevathan, I think they'll get an interception too. So I expect them to create havoc against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, but what happens if the Bears actually do lose the game? I'm going to predict that game in the second hour of the show. I'm going to do who you got. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do who you got in the second hour of the show. I'm not going to do it in the first hour. I'm going to do it in the second hour. What happens if they go 0-2? Nothing changes. I still think, like I said, that they're going to go 7-9. And I thought with that back trade, maybe they might go 8-8. Maybe they might even go 9-7. But I still think they're going 7-9. So my opinion on it don't change. This is one of those games where I think that it's going to be competitive. It might potentially be ugly football in a way. Like a game where, not too much offense because you're going to see a lot of guys dropping passes, a lot of overthrown or underthrown balls. This might not be a pretty game. It might end up being like that Giants and Jaguars game that wasn't necessarily pretty or the most fun to watch, but it was like competitive and it went down a while. So it could be heading in that territory. But overall, I expect not too much offense, especially again, like I said, Mitch Trubisky isn't necessarily an offensive juggernaut, even though I think they're also going to be fine. They're not going to be spectacular, but they're going to be fine. And obviously, the Seahawks have problems on the offensive end. So it is what it is. I hope I'm not going to be as mad as I was on Monday night. And it's as Sunday night when I was super salty. And maybe I don't think I'm going to be as salty, not because of the way to do it. Unless Russell Wilson turns into Aaron Rodgers once again, which I highly doubt. Because I don't think he's that. I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers level. Even though you guys put him at the top 5 level. But I don't know. I don't know. That is a sigh of relief, everybody. It's the Blob Show, SportsRadio.com, 773-966-2494 is the number. If you want to call in, and yeah, the song says they have the power, they got the speed, could be the best in the National League. But the question is that really saying much? The Cubs got a much-needed win last night. After the series, they would not lose the division, because if they lost last night, they would have lost the division lead. It would have been technically a tie, but the Brewers would have the advantage. They would be the top seed. Here's the thing about the Cubs. I know I've repeatedly said that the Cubs have a talent. They can go to the World Series based on the fact that they're more consistent than everybody else in the National League, which is all over the place in terms of consistency or not. But I've been concerned with their play over the past month or so, where again, their pitching hasn't been bad, even though I'm on the I hate Carl Edwards bandwagon now. You think how I feel about Kyle Fuller is bad. Carl Edwards is worse. I don't trust. Sure, you can talk about the ERA. You can talk about Carl Edwards. His numbers say otherwise. But I don't trust Carl Edwards in big games. If Carl Edwards is going against the Padres, if you put him in against the Padres, fine. If you put him in against the Pirates, fine. If you're gonna put him in against like the White Sox, fine. You're gonna put him in against teams like the Detroit Tigers, fine. But if you put him in games against the Brewers or Nationals or any team that's decent or that's decent or it could be potential playoffs, I don't want him there because what does he do? He chokes. I'm really concerned about that. I'm incredibly concerned about that. If the Cubs get into the playoffs, you know they're going to be close games. And I don't want to see Carl Edwards in any of those games. I don't want him. I know ERA says otherwise. I know number says otherwise. But I do not want him on my playoff roster. He has been too inconsistent and too crucial into the Cubs' downfall. Even on Monday night. He has been too crucial. And the thing is, I saw this live in person on Labor Day. Carl Edwards completely jagged that game against the Brewers. Just like he did on Monday night. I saw it. I seen it too many times. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is Joe Madden. Quick, get informed by this man. I've been ranting a lot about these players today, but I do not trust them. I need him off the roster. You see everybody else doing their job. Everybody else doing their damn job. Everybody else can, even if these are high stress innings, they're not allowing runs. Carl Edwards keeps jagging games in such spectacular and heartbreaking fashion. And yet Joe Madden keeps going to him. I need it to stop. It's time to stop. Otherwise, the Cubs might not make. Not only would they not win the division, they might not get out the wild card if this keeps up. Also, they got to score runs too. But in these 3-2 ball games, these 3-3 ball games, these 4-3 ball games, you cannot rely on Carl Edwards anymore. It's too much. It's too much and too little results that benefit the Cubs. So, Brandon Morrow, please come back. I'm begging you, please. Please get well soon and come back because this is gonna be bad if he's the guy. He's not my guy. And Joe Madden just needs to stop being Vince McMahon because Carl Edwards Jr. is not Roman Reigns. You can push him to the moon, but we're still not going to like him. He's still not going to produce things that we enjoy. That's just my opinion. Buy or sell when we come back on the Blob Show, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Nothing moves the Blob.
It's the Blob Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. 773-966-2494 is the number you want to call into the show. I'm pretty sure some of you guys hearing the song saying, you know what, Blob, you need a drink. Yelling at Carl Edwards. Yelling at Kyle Fuller, you need a drink. you need to calm down. You're going too hard on people right now. But you know what? I was really hoping to do this segment with Mr. I was really hoping to do this segment with Mr. Elijah Richardson, but he got called to work the last second. I totally understand how that is, but it is just me. So I'm gonna do this anyway. I'm gonna do a little buy or sell on these little stories. Starting with buy or sell. If healthy, if Khalil Mack, if he is healthy, he will have at least 13 sacks this season. If he's healthy, if he plays all 16 games, I think Khalil Mack can be one of the sack leaders in the NFL. You know, I know the sack leader for last year, 8. Khalil Mack already has 1. He already has the pick 6. He already has a fumble. I expect him to get 2. On Monday night against Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. So you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to buy in on that. I am hashtag all in on Khalil Mack. He's a beast. He's a former defensive player of the year. And the reason why he was worth all the money. Haha, take that, John Gruden. You could have used them against St. Louis. Against Los Angeles on Monday night. Todd Gurley was going crazy. Jared Goff thankfully had a great second half. That defense doesn't look too good. I mean, hey, John Gruden, appreciate you, buddy. You got my quarterback that's looking like trash, but I appreciate you, buddy. But again, I expect at least 13, maybe 16. But I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna put the line. I'm gonna put it at 13, 16 at the max, but 13 at the minimum. So I just if he's healthy. Next one, I think I already said this. I didn't mean to spoil it, but Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback. I'm gonna say no, he's not. My top 5 honest top 5, Brady, obviously. Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Drew Brees, obviously. I'm still going to put Big Ben as number 5, but or in the top 5. I don't know if it's going to be 4 or 5, but Big Ben is obvious in there. And there's some of the quarterbacks I would take over Russell Wilson. I would honestly take Cam Newton a little bit over Russell Wilson. Even with his sort of inaccuracy. I would take Cam Newton over him. I would take Jared Goff over Russell Wilson. I would take Carson Wentz over Russell Wilson too. So I think Russell Wilson is in the bottom of that top 10. I don't think he's top 5. Like 4 or 5 can change in a minute, but I know Russell Wilson is not in my top 5. Next one, the Vikings are the best team in the NFC North. And I know Kirk Cousins looked good. I mean, I know against that San Francisco defense. I know I talked about how Deshaun Diggs would beat up my boy, Richard Sherman. I was running all over him, put him on roller skates. I know I said all of that. But as long as Aaron Rodgers is behind, is at quarterback, as long as he's there, then the Green Bay Packers will continue to be the best team in that NFC North. And I know they got a great defense. I know they got Harrison Smith who came up with a pick. I know they had 3 picks against my boy Jimmy Garoppolo. I get all that. I get all that. But again, it's hard to trust Kirk Cousins. It's hard to trust Kirk Cousins. I think he's the thing that's holding him back. I think they should have paid Case Keenum. I think they should have paid him. That's still to me, because I don't trust Kirk Cousins in the big games. In fact, he has a big game. I'm gonna predict that in the next hour, but he has a big game against Green Bay Packers this Sunday. I know my girlfriend's brother's gonna be there. I'm happy for them. I don't know, man. I can't trust the quarterback. I can trust everybody else except the quarterback. I can trust Dalvin Cook. I can trust the quarterback. I can trust everybody except the quarterback, and that's gonna be the huge difference. So I don't think they're the best team unless you talk about in terms of player wise, they're the best team. But in terms of the team in terms of my prediction for success, I say the Vikings are not the best team. Next, buy or sell. The Cowboys will not have an over 500 seed, and I am buying in on that. And I know you shouldn't take into account one game, but this is going over a span of one season in that one game. Dak Prescott is not good. I'll take Russell Wilson over him. Dak Prescott in my opinion, Dak Prescott is the definition of mediocrity. In fact, if I am being very honest, I'm about to take something. I know I really wish Eli was here because I know he's a Cowboys fan. But I'm gonna take some guys. I'm gonna say Dak Prescott is not that much better than Mitch Trubisky. I don't think he's that much better than Mitch Trubisky. I think they do almost the same thing. They're almost inaccurate in a lot of their throws. They do a lot more running than passing. They like to hand the ball off to their elite running backs in Ezekiel Elliott or Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. But I don't think Dak Prescott is that much better than Mitch Trubisky. And you can either take that as a praise to Mitch Trubisky or an insult to Dak Prescott. But I think they're barely above that. If you see it on camera, it's like I got my hand one slightly above the other. I think they're like this. They're not neck and neck, but they're pretty close. They're about like an inch or two, or they're an inch or two above each other. So I think because Dak Prescott is mediocre, and because Zeke might have a good year, I think I buy more into Ezekiel Elliott than I buy into Dak Prescott. But I think this team is going to be very mediocre. They're going to go 7-9, 8-8. They're not going to be that wild card team. Sorry, Skip. They're not going to be that wild card team. They're just going to be a team that goes 7-9 or 8-8. Next one, I know it was announced earlier today, but Nick Foles is going to be the starter. He's going to be the starter for the Sunday's game. If Nick Foles gets red hot, if he turns to the one that beat the Vikings and beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, if you turn to that guy, if he gets red hot, the Eagles should stick with him at quarterback, and I am selling on that idea. I know momentum is great. I know Nick Foles is a Super Bowl MVP. I know Philly, or the Philly Special, is a great play, but I think that has a lot to do with coaching rather than talent. I think coaching wise, Doug Peterson is really good. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, and he proved that by winning the Super Bowl and having the balls to do things they didn't do. Which, let me just say this real quick. You know the difference between Doug Peterson and the Falcons coach, and the Falcons coach, I forgot his name at the moment, and Matt Nagy? Doug Peterson, with the same roster, would have beat the Green Bay Packers. Because I feel like there would have been much more aggressive play calling, and it wouldn't have been as conservative, and they would have ran something that kept Aaron Rodgers out the field when they were gaining momentum. And so you gotta put your foot on it when you have them by the throat. You gotta go for the kill. You can't be like, you can't be like a superhero and be like, you know what, I'm no better than you. I can't let you die. I can't kill you. You gotta be like the old school heroes where they just kill the bad guy at the end. You gotta do that. You gotta go for the kill. You can't put them back in Arkham. They're just gonna escape and cause even more havoc. Doug Peterson's that guy. They aren't. And Nick Foles, as great as he can potentially play, I don't buy into him. I'd rather have Carson Wentz as my starter. I know Eagles fans are gonna be like, oh my god, if after the first interception they're gonna be like, oh my god, why did you start Nick Foles? I'm sorry, no, you gotta go with Carson Wentz. You have to. And they're playing smart with how they're playing. If he's out for 4 weeks, if he's out until week 5, and they just keep him 100%, just to keep him 100%, I'm down with it. Even if they go 1-3, they won the tough game against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm good. The Eagles will be just fine. I'm even more confident in them after last Thursday's game than I was before. They might be the most. They still might be one of the best teams in the league. And they might go back to the Super Bowl. I don't think the Super Bowl hangover is going to be really real. And maybe I'm just lost in the sauce of them at their performance on Thursday with their defense. But I still rather have Carson Wentz at center than Nick Foles. With all the respect to Nick Foles, with all the respect to Mr. Philly, Mr. Super Bowl MVP. Next one, with Le'Veon Bell out, the Ravens will win the division by 2 games. And I'm gonna buy in on that. First of all, you're tied with the Browns, and I know you guys have a rivalry. I know it's a rivalry game, and I know the Browns always play the Steelers tough. But you don't tie. You don't tie with the Browns. And the thing that's really alarming, and that's something that goes not just to that game against the Browns, but in terms of last season in general. All these turnovers from Ben Roethlisberger, 3 interceptions. And you can blame some of it on the receiving coming down, but a lot of bad play calling, which goes not only to Ben Roethlisberger, but my boy Mike Tomlin too. I'm not confident in the Steelers team at all. To go to an AFC Championship, go to the division title. If they make the playoffs, they might make it as a wild card and lose. I cannot be confident in that. And so the Ravens, on the other hand, I'm not lost in the sauce of how they play against the Bills. First of all, if you start Nate Peterson at quarterback, that's an automatic win for you. You automatically win. You might as well say, you know what, here's a free W. I just want to know this. I meant to tweet this out, but how in the world was the guy from the Cosby Show out of a job? But yet Nate Peterson, who every time I saw him start, he's throwing a couple of interceptions. He turned the ball over in one way or another. I don't get it. I don't get how the Cosby Show was an actor and didn't have a job for so long until Tyler Perry stepped in. Yet Nate Peterson, who has done nothing on the football field, continues to get a job. I mean, he had a week 1 starting job over a rookie quarterback. I don't get that. That part is a little bit upsetting to me. But you know, they got what they deserved. They got a big L. And the Ravens look good on them. And like I said, their defense has never been a problem. It's been a Joe Flacco thing. I think he's gonna have a much better year than he did last year. We won't be seeing Lamar Jackson, except for a couple of plays and packages, or if Joe Flacco gets hurt. But in terms of my expectations for Joe Flacco, it's definitely heightened. I think this could be this. You know what? I've always said, I've been consistent in saying this for the past couple of weeks, but I think a team is going to come out of nowhere. The team is going to come out of nowhere and knock the Patriots out the playoffs this year in the division round. It's going to be a huge upset. And keep in mind, every time the Ravens and the Patriots play each other in the playoffs, it's always very interesting. It always comes down to the wire. It comes down to 1 or 2 plays. So maybe the Ravens, because the Le'Veon Bell situation hasn't gotten any better, he was taken off the depth chart. Le'Veon Bell was taken off the depth chart. Now, I'm not buying in on they still could get whatever running back they want and it can still produce the same results. I don't buy into that. I think that was just one good week in them playing the Browns. So I do see the Ravens winning that division. And they could be that team that goes to the AFC Championship. They could be that team that knocks out New England. I can see them being that sneaky team that I've been looking for. I can see that. And you know, I'm gonna give Week 1. I got one. The loss to the Buccaneers will be a recurring thing to how bad the Saints defense is. Am I gonna buy in on that? No, I'm not gonna buy in on that. Saints started off like this last year. So I remember Lamar and I, my good shot to Lamar. I remember him and I, you know, talking about, oh man, the Saints defense is bad all over again. And Ryan Fitzpatrick does this too. Both things are inconsistent. Saints are bad early, and Ryan Fitzpatrick always have that coming out game like, oh look at me, I'm the beast, and then goes back to being Ryan Fitzpatrick, the turnover machine. He always does this. So I'm not buying in on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not losing faith on the Saints defense. I think that was just one bad game. It was an early. They always say this. You want to catch good teams. You want to catch good teams slipping. Catch them early in the season. So I'm not fazed by that at all. It's one game. Division matchup. It is what it is.
Some things in life they just don't want to see. But it's hard to lose the
Nothing moves the blob.
It's the Blob Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I love this version of it. I love the version of the song. This is great. It got me hyped. I didn't necessarily know I needed an energy boost up until this song started playing. But I'm ready. I gotta make some predictions. Week 2 is tomorrow. My bad. I'm gonna say this Sunday. It's tomorrow, which goes into Sunday, which goes to the Bears matchup on Monday. But who am I going to choose? Am I going to choose the Bears when they go to 0-2, when the Seahawks go 1-1? Talking about my former team. It's time for Who You Got? It's Who You Got on the Blob Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm ready. I'm ready for the football. And I don't need Hank Williams Jr. calling. Never mind. That's about to throw some unnecessary shade. I was about to throw some really unnecessary shade. But we're talking about football. Monday Night Football. Joe Tessitore. I love the fact that he's the play-by-play guy. I love his call. I always love his work. And the Bears fans will be introduced to him when they see on Soldier Field. We watch it probably going to be on my TV or my 50 or Channel 9. I don't know. Or Channel 7. I don't know what it's going to be on. But it's going to be on TV for us local guys. But it's going to be on ESPN for everybody else. But the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner, and everybody else. Tyler Lockett going against Mitch Trubisky, Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson, Roquan Smith, Matt Nagy. Who I got? I'm going to take the Chicago Bears to get their first win of the season. As I alluded to earlier in the show, I think that defense is going to be too much. I know they went against Von Miller, but that's not a defense that's not as good as it was when they won the Super Bowl or went to the Super Bowl a couple of times in the Peyton Manning era. I don't think that it's that same level of defense. I know that's Von Miller them, but it's not the same defense, but they had a quarterback. This defense, I feel like the Bears defense is better than the Broncos defense. I feel like, aside from Kyle Fuller, everybody else in the defense is going to cause a lot of havoc, especially without Doug Baldwin. And I expect the big game. I expect a big game from Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. And maybe another rushing touchdown. And I'm going to say 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for Mitch Trubisky. And a rushing touchdown. Yeah, a rushing touchdown, 2 passing touchdowns, and an interception for Mitch Trubisky. And a fumble, too. I expect that. So overall, really good game for Mitch Trubisky overall. Next game, another matchup, NFC North matchup. The Minnesota Vikings go to Lambeau Field to take on Aaron Rodgers, question mark, because he's questionable right now, even though I think he's going to play, in the Green Bay Packers. I will say this, if Deshaun Kaiser is there, I don't know why they got rid of Brett Hundley. I don't get it. It was much appreciated for those couple of plays when the Bears faced him, but I don't get it. But as of right now, my prediction is going to be Aaron Rodgers at home against the against the Minnesota Vikings. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers, the best team in the NFC North as long as he's behind center. And I don't think that changes. I think it's going to be another close game. It's going to have a lot of Packers fans with their heart. You know what? I take it back. You know what I forgot? You know what? I just remembered something I've been preaching. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. He's good everywhere else except for big game. This is a big game. It's a division match. I know it's early season, but it's a big game. And I expect a lot of turnover from Kirk Cousins. So if it is close, it's because the Packers can't move the ball. But in terms of Kirk Cousins, I don't see him being outdueling Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home. Next game, a game I'm really looking forward to. I think this game I know it's nationally televised on CBS, but I think it's kind of falling a little bit under the radar. Patriots on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. A game where I said that a play that was even better because it took more skill than that Malcolm Butler interception. I'm going to say, with the Stephon Gilmore deflection on 4th down. And they want to avenge that. I'm going to say the Jacksonville Jaguars get the upset home win against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. I think the defense is looking for some redemption. They allowed a lot of yards from Odell Beckham. He had over 100 and he had a touchdown. I think obviously Gronk is there. Last time they played each other, Gronk got hurt in that game. I don't know if he'll get hurt. So I know he's going to be playing with something to prove. I know Tom Brady's going to be playing with something to prove. But I'm going to say the Jacksonville Jaguars get the upset home win. And Blake Bortles has a great game in the process. And outdoors Tom Brady. And it's going to bring the question of, is Tom Brady? I mean, it's going to bring the dumb question of Tom Brady and whatnot. But I expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to improve to 2-0. Next game, the game that we expect to be on Sunday Night Football last week, but the NFL said, you know what? We're going to calm down from that. You know what? We're going to give you a week, but we're going to not give you Giants and Cowboys on Sunday Night Football for week 1. We're going to hold off on that for 1 week. We're going to put it on week 2. Giants and Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. I'm going to take the New York Football Giants, and it's going to be another ugly game. That's going to be the common theme of the Giants season. It's going to be an ugly game. Not too much scoring, not too much ball moving too much. A lot of bad passes, a lot of what the heck with that type of play. Saquon Barkley might be decent. That might be the one to watch, Saquon Barkley versus Ezekiel Elliott. But other than that, it's going to be another ugly, low-scoring game. A game where defense rules and bad quarterbacks don't do very well. But I'm taking the New York Football Giants on the road against the Cowboys. I don't think we're going to see another. I don't think we're going to see another spectacular, overplayed catch like the Odell Beckham one. But I expect it to be a pretty low-scoring game. Next game. By the way, the Giants lost that game too. Everybody keeps forgetting it. As great as that touchdown catch was, the Giants still lost that game. Next game. Lions and 49ers both coming off losses. I'm thinking of the L. Lions, when you think of L's, you think the loss, you think of the Detroit Lions, a team that's just there in football. I'm going to say the San Francisco 49ers. I know I said the 49ers are going to win the division. Thinking about how good the Los Angeles Rams look. I'm a little bit concerned about that already. I know it's only week 1, but I'm still going to stick by my boy Jimmy G football. Bounce back. Going to bring more questions about Matt Patricia on the Lions team. And I think that defense is going to have a showing out part. This might be a blow. This might be another embarrassing loss for the Detroit Lions. And already going to put them on the hot seat 2 games in. So I expect a bounce back performance for Jimmy G and the 49ers to handily win this. Last game is going to be really interesting. Panthers and Falcons. The interesting part is the fact that both teams are very injured. Panthers, Greg Olsen's going to be out for a while. Falcons missing Keanu Neal. Maybe missing Desmond Trufant. Missing a bunch of guys on defense. Might be missing some guys on offense. Oh, man. That's a tough one to predict now I'm looking at it. But all in all, I'm going to say the Atlanta Falcons win at home because the question I'm asking is who's going to stop Julio Jones? I know you stop him in the red zone because you don't throw him the ball where it needs to be. And even on that incomplete pass on the 4th down, it was still a heck of a catch by Julio Jones. By the way, hey NFL, I'm going to look straight in the camera because I'm asking you very specifically. Hey, write it down, all you guys. Hey referees, can you tell me what a catch is? You mind telling me that? I mean, the grunt thing wasn't a catch, but if you called that a catch and the Julio Jones wasn't even revealed, even though it was inside 2 minutes. So you mind telling your boy what exactly a catch is? Thank you very much. I'm like I said, I'm taking the Falcons because you're not stopping Julio Jones. He's gonna have another spectacular game. He might even have a touchdown. Not even get a touchdown. So I'm taking them close game, but good game. But I think ultimately a Panthers loss. Next game, Ravens and Bengals, the Thursday night game. I think it's the debut of Joe Buck on Thursday Night Football. Joe Buck. That's it in my traditional way, but I'm gonna take the Ravens on the road. Like I said, I predicted, like I said in the last segment, I expect the Ravens to win the division thanks to the whole Le'Veon Bell situation. I don't know, buy into the Bengals. You know what the Bengals and Lions have in common? They're that team that's just there. Like you talk about the great teams, you talk about the terrible teams, you talk about the great teams like the Patriots, Falcons, Eagles, you can even put the Patriots there, the Packers. You talk about the great teams, you talk about the awful teams like the Cleveland Browns, or the Buffalo Bills, their franchise. You can talk about Chicago. You can talk about all these teams that are either great or really bad, and then you have those teams that you just see them and just like, eh. Bengals are that team that's just like, eh. The Lions are the team that you just see them just like, eh. No matter what they do, they could go 16-0 and you still won't take them seriously. And that's how I feel about both teams. But I think the Ravens are looking for payback after 7. That's the big thing that's been usually promoted. Ravens are looking for payback after being eliminated by them in week 17. I think that's the whole promotional material there. I would say the Ravens do get their payback. Joe Flacco's not going to have nearly as good of a game as he did against the Buffalo Bills because the Bengals are a better team than Buffalo Bills. And the water is wet. But I just read something too. I might allude to that later when I predict. No, that was already predicted. Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. I'm taking Joe Flacco. I'm taking that defense. I'm taking the Ravens. Next game, Raiders and Broncos. I'm gonna repeat what I said about the Lions. It's not in terms of the team just being there, but teams that being bad and being horribly coached. And take that, copy and paste it about how I felt the Raiders. I know Derek Carr's my quarterback. He's my teammate, but it's gonna be hell. Broncos are about to be 2-0. That's gonna be funny. That's gonna be weird too. I would not have thought that it would be the Broncos and Chiefs competing for the top spot in that division, which it might be looking like it. With the Chargers losing, Patrick Mahomes looking like a beast. I don't necessarily buy in on that. That was a topic, but I didn't say that. But I didn't say that because Eli wasn't here. We couldn't do it. I'm gonna say the woes continue for the Raiders, and I think the Broncos blow out the Raiders. Just like Jared Goff did in the second half, only going to be a full half of an onslaught on the Oakland Raiders. And it's going to have everybody already wanting John Gruden's head more than they already had since the Khalil Mack trade. And the last game, before I headed to break, the Chiefs and the Steelers. The Steelers are at home. They were on the road against the Cleveland Browns. But I would say, excuse me, first of all, I don't buy into the defense because, again, they did good against the Browns. So, when I do good against Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, and the Kansas City Chiefs, no. I think it's going to be another embarrassing performance. The Steelers might make it a little bit competitive because Ben Roethlisberger's there. it's gonna be almost a duplicate of the Tampa Bay Bucks and Saints game, only to a lesser degree. But I got the Kansas City Chiefs whooping on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andrew Luck going against Kirk Cousins' old team, now Alex Smith's current team, Washington Redskins. I think the Redskins are gonna come away with a victory in that. Early season Alex Smith is good Alex Smith. Mid to late season Alex Smith is bad Alex Smith. Andrew Luck might have a better game, not turn the ball over in the red zone like he did last week against the Bengals. But I'm going to say the Redskins come away with that one and improve to 2-0 and give them hope like, oh my God, we're the best team we're the best team in the division. Well, you're not. Let's stop it. Next game, Texans and Titans. Mariota and Deshaun Watson both coming off poor performances in the previous week of week 1. I'm going to say the Texans win. I think Deshaun Watson will be back in terms of talent. He'll be back to normal. I don't think it's going to be as high as high of a power. Going to be back to the level that he was last year. Not yet. Not this coming week. But I think he will be back one day. Eagles and Buccaneers. Fool's gold is going to be Foles gold. Nick Foles is going to be able to absolutely dominate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to have a bad game. We're going to see the old Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I know I don't believe in Fitzmagic. Aren't I clever name? No, I don't believe in Fitzmagic. I don't. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. Next game, Chargers and Bills. For the same. Bills are trash. Chargers are not. I'm going to say the Chargers beat the Bills. Next game, Dolphins on the road against the New York Jets. They're in New York, so the game won't be an 8-hour delay. And I hate this term, but I think for the lack of a better term, thoughts and prayers for everybody that for this hurricane. I hope everybody stays safe that's going to go through the hurricane. So that's just a quick thing on that. I'm going to say the Jets win. And again, another team that last year early looked good early and then came back to normal very late. So we'll see on that. Next game, Cardinals and Rams. Rams are, again, these are simple picks. These are very simple picks. I'm going to say the Rams much better. It's their home opener. I'm going to expect a good performance from Jared Goff. Hopefully Larry Fitzgerald gets the ball more this time. Even though Akeem Talib is going to probably be guarding him. And final game, Browns and the Saints. Oh boy. Is this upset city? Is this heartbreak city? No, it's not. I'm going to say the Saints win this one. They're not going to handle it. It's going to be competitive for about 2.5 quarters, and then Saints are going to pull away just a little bit and maybe have a 10 or 13 point lead when it's all said and done. But I think the Saints will pretty much own the second half. That's just my opinion. So that's football predictions. Now to get to good old wrestling. And like I said, I played Sevron's theme song. It's the Raw Tag Team Championship. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler going against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And I think it stays in the hands of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler for a couple of reasons. One, Seth Rollins already had the belt. I don't think they're gonna do a double championship. I don't think they're gonna do a double champion route unless they're gonna make Baron Corbin like heel and say, all right, you're gonna have to work both nights. Because Seth Rollins is an Iron Man. We see him do a couple. We see him wrestle like an hour plus. It was a great match. He's Raw's MVP. So and some can make an argument that he's the best wrestler in WWE, even over the phenomenal AJ Styles. I wonder who would say that. Not me, but I wonder who would say that. So I'm taking Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in this one. Just because I think of a result later on, and you don't want to have all three Shield members champions. Spoiler alert. Next one, the New Day versus Rusev Day. The New Day could either be Big E and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, or Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Rusev Day, which is definitely going to be Rusev and Aiden English. You've heard this story before. Rusev gets a title shot. Rusev doesn't win this title. You heard the story before. We've seen it for the past year or so. They just do not want to give the belt to any type of belt to Rusev, which would have been a good idea to, hey, maybe because Shinsuke Nakamura isn't doing anything, maybe finally turn Rusev as a face and have that be a feud. That would have been pretty cool. I think those two could work well nicely. But then again, what do I know? But again, I'm taking a New Day. They're going to continue their WWE. I'm not going to do the whole hip swinging as much as some people would love to see it. I'm not going to do the whole hip swinging, but New Day is going to retain their 5-time their championship. And that's all I got to say about that. Next one, Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. It's simple. You cannot take the belt off. How about belt? You know, you cannot take the belt off Ronda Rousey this early, not to run 1 month. Can't do it. It's simple. Keep the belt on Ronda Rousey for a while. Give her a better feud. I mean, with all respect, it's not just feud is bad, but it's just there. When you compare it to the next feud I'm going to talk about, but again, I'm going Ronda Rousey for this one. Next one, this might be the match I'm looking forward to the most out of the whole card. Charlotte Flair, the women's champion, SmackDown women's champion, going against Becky Lynch. I've been preaching about the double turn. I think they're heading that way. I'm not entirely sure, but I think they're heading that way. I hope they're heading that way. Becky has been great. Charlotte's great. I think I continue to say Charlotte's the best female wrestler in the WWE. Becky is not too far behind. She seemed to be take offense that she's been forgotten about because of Charlotte's success, and rightfully so. I'm all for Team Becky, but I think as far as Hell in a Cell goes, the title stays in Charlotte's hands. But for how long? That, my friends, is a question for another day. Next one, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton's gonna win it, but Jeff Hardy's gonna freaking kill himself. I talk about it. He's gonna jump off the cell. He's jumping off the cell. That crazy guy, that Brother Nero is gonna kill himself by jumping off the cell. It's gonna be awesome to see, but it's also scary because why does he do himself? He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. Jeff, I appreciate you entertaining the fans. I do. I'm a big Jeff Hardy fan. I appreciate all of it. But it's not necessary. But he's gonna do it anyway. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be scary. And it's gonna hurt. But Randy Orton's winning that one. Tag team match player: Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus Miz and Maurice. I think you saved the feel good thing for. Women's Evolution. Unless Brie Bella's not taking on Maurice there, which I don't think has been announced yet. But I think, you know what? I say Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella win. Only because in Australia, when Miz and Daniel Bryan face each other, it could be a completely different result. But again, we shall see on that. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. Again, something I don't think is going to be over. I think that should have been a match that took place in Hell in a Cell. But I'm going to go with AJ Styles for now. Again, like same question I asked with Becky Lynch. Sure, the AJ said she's going to walk away with the title. But for how long? Again, that's the question. In final match, the predictable match, Braun Strowman stupidly, he's healed for some reason. I don't necessarily appreciate that. But Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns for Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley as referee. Good promo by Mick Foley, by the way. But I think we all know Roman Reigns is going to be champion for quite some time. So Roman Reigns is going to win it. And that's the reason why I didn't pick the Shield. That's the reason why I didn't pick the Shield to beat Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. That's the reason why, because I don't see all three of them being champion. I mean, Seth already has a belt. You know, Roman Reigns is already champion. Dean Ambrose is gonna be in the mix in between. He might turn heel soon. That might even be the reason why they lose to Ziggler and McIntyre. I'm not entirely sure on that. But, yep, those are all my predictions. I was able to fit them all after all. Congrats to me. Funny thing is, you know, with all the promotion that Triple H, Shawn Michaels, you know, Undertaker have been doing for the show in Australia, with the Super Showdown, finally got the title right, keep calling it the Super Show. You know, and with Evolution being promoted, you forget that there's a pay-per-view coming Sunday. You forget that the Hell in a Cell Sunday. You know, all the promotion, you thought, okay, the next pay-per-view has to be the show in Australia or Evolution. No, Hell in a Cell Sunday, which I think hasn't necessarily been booked that. which hasn't necessarily, the build hasn't been booked that great when you compare it to build for everything else. Especially when you have guys like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker showing up to promote a completely different show. Would a casual fan really care about Hell in a Cell rather than caring about, you know, the Super Show in Australia, which you have to be up in Central Time at 5 a.m. to see? No. But when you look at Hell in a Cell, it's not as bad of a card as you think. For something that's so forgettable, it's not a bad card. Like I said, I didn't preview all the matches, but when you see Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, because you know Jeff Hardy going to jump off something, which is always fun to see. When you see Daniel Bryan in action, which is normally good, Daniel Bryan and Miz, even though I can't stand Brie Bella in the ring, God, what? Irritates me every time. But you know, aside from that, getting Charlotte versus Becky's a great match. The New Day always puts up great matches anyway, with anybody. So that's gonna be good. Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins and Ambrose. You know, when you get those four together, that's gonna be great. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, that match at SummerSlam. When you put those two together, whether it's in TNA or Impact or in WWE, that's always gonna be good. Believe it that this could be a good card. Unfortunately, people are gonna be watching Sunday Night Football and during all of it. But when you look at it, it's not a bad card at all. It's pretty underrated for something with so little. I wouldn't say so little, with something with the lack of appeal compared to everything else going on. And there's so much talent on this card. It's a shame. It really is a shame how underrated it is. This could honestly be better than SummerSlam. I know SummerSlam was okay, and it was a in between. This seems way better than Extreme Rules. But with a card like this, I would not be mad. You know what? I definitely might take a peek of it, especially when Cowboys and Giants, NBC's darling matchup, is going on. I definitely wouldn't mind taking a look at this. I know people are bashing it, but I'm just like, when you actually look at it, it's like, this might be all right. This ain't Extreme Rules. This could actually be something worth watching. Now, Raw sucked. SmackDown, for its high spots, was really good, but it had a lot of low moments that you didn't care about. But Hell in a Cell itself, this preview Sunday, has my interest. It has my interest, has my intrigue. And match quality-wise, unless you do some BS endings like you did at SummerSlam, because you want to promote another show, unless you do that, I'm looking forward to Hell in a Cell. Also looking forward to wrapping this show up, too. Got one more thing. Gonna check in on fantasy teams. Talk about Marshawn Lynch. And even talk about high school photo. Even give some of my memories from high school. Some favorable, some not so much. Blob Show when we come back at ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You know that I need you.
I'm pretty sure that's what some people are asking about starting fantasy players in that team. The Blob Show, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. 773-966-2494 is the number if you want to call into the show. The last segment of the show. And and the reason why I was looking at my phone, some of you guys who's looking at the video feed of this, trying to get prepared for fantasy. In my fantasy leagues, the two I'm in, and I got a draft tonight at 7. It's an auction league. One Eli, talked about how much he likes him better. I like both, so I don't care either way. But auction league, I won that one last year. Shout out to Todd Gurley, Zach Ertz, Alshon, basically the Eagles offense and Todd Gurley. Shout out to all you guys for helping me win that one. I plan on repeating in that league this year. Looking at you, Ruthless. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I totally called you out on the radio, which you're probably not going to hear anyway. But outside of that league that's going on tonight, went in one of my other leagues, 1-1, lost another one, and the one I lost, I need a bounce back victory. And the reason why this matchup is special to me for two reasons. One, because you obviously don't want to go 0-2. Nobody wants to go 1-2, especially in fantasy. But number two, my opponent for this week in fantasy, in this league at least, the one I'm referring to right now, is my lovely girlfriend. Who does know sports. It isn't just, this is going to be easy. No, this is my girlfriend who knows sports. One of the many reasons why I fell in love with her. And, she's come off a week where she didn't start She didn't start. Excuse me. It wasn't Travis Kelce. I'm trying to figure who did she not start? Jared Cook, who went off on Monday Night Football. Maybe she'll start him this week. Maybe she won't. Looking at the matches right now, quarterback Mike Garrett Goff versus her Matt Ryan. My Ezekiel Elliott versus her David Johnson. My Christian McCaffrey versus her Freeman. My Liz Fitzgerald versus Devontae Adams. My Demaryius Thomas versus her Chris Hogan. My Jimmy Graham versus her Travis Kelce. My Jay Ajayi versus her Corey Davis. My Detroit defense versus her Tennessee defense. And my Jake Elliott versus hers Mason Crosby. Now, lineups are due to change. Could be due to change. Because on my bench right now, I have Chicago's defense, which I might take over Detroit's defense for sure. Got Pierre Garçon, Kenny Stills, Kirk Cousins as my quarterback, Eric Ebron, Josh Lambo as my kicker, and Ted Ginn Jr. It could change. I could definitely change any of these guys up until either tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or Sunday. You know, on her end, she has Duke Johnson. Yep, Duke Johnson Jr., Devin Funchess, Tariq Cohen of the Bears, Alex Smith, Jared Cook, Ty Montgomery, and Dante Moncrief. Right now, if you don't want to know projections, I'm projected to lose by 0.8 points. So again, this is a toss-up. And let me tell you, okay, you know, let me add an extra layer of why this matchup is important to me. Number one, I mentioned this over and over again. I was there live with her when the Cubs lost that extra inning game to the Brewers in Miller Park. Number two, Sunday, watching live, Aaron Rodgers beat the Chicago Cubs. Excuse me, the Chicago Bears. Cubs, Bears, you know, Bears, whatever. I saw it watching that on TV. Salty. So that's 2 salts. 3 salts, I'm out. I need this matchup. I need this. I'm sick and tired. I love her to death. I do. And I'm happy to see her happy. But at some point, I need a W. I need a W. I need a W. It's bad if I couldn't get it from the Cubs. Live. Bad if I couldn't get it. It's bad if I had to lose 2 times. 2 times in epic fashion. 2 times in epic fashion. Extra inning game in Miller Park. Sunday's game was Aaron Rodgers' comeback on the Paul Pierce injury where you're going to get carted off, all of a sudden charged back in. It looked like nothing ever happened. I'm not saying conspiracies. I'm just saying. But that's 2 times. I don't need a third. I need this. So, whichever higher power you believe in, I need this matchup. Please. I cannot afford 3 straight. I can't. As much as I like being cheered up by her, I don't want to be the salty anymore. I'm fat enough. I don't need no more salt in the system. I'm fat enough. I already can't get into 205. I used to be 197. Back when I worked at the doctor, I used to be like 195. I'm 208. I don't need any more salt in my system. I need this matchup badly. Because, you know what the next time, it's not like, oh, this is maybe I'll see her again later in the fantasy. You know what? I think I only faced her once in this league, but I know I faced her in the other league because we're both in 2 leagues with each other. You know the next time I face her? The last week of the fantasy season. So I love her. She means the world to me. But I can't do this anymore. I cannot lose again. I refuse to lose again. And if I do, even more salt. And you're definitely going to hear me talk about it Wednesday. And I'm going to definitely have even more rinse in store for that. 773-966-2494 is the number if you want to call into the show at the last minute. Ah, boy. Speaking of fantasy, you would think that picture of Marshawn Lynch on Monday Night for one of the highlights for Monday Night Football wasn't just that beatdown or how bad John Green looked. One of the highlights was Marshawn Lynch's old high school photo. And you see Marshawn Lynch now, you see him a little bit more gangster, you see him a little bit with more personality. But you look at his high school picture, he looks just almost as much of a dork as I am. Marshawn's no dork. But if you compare his photo from then to now, definitely was a dork. I think you obviously play football, so I don't think anybody would be able to pick on him. I dare you to pick on Marshawn Lynch. I guarantee that wouldn't have ended great for you. But that photo reminds me of high school, and that's been the thing too. Because again, Kate, bringing up my girlfriend. Oh my God, he's so much like. When you can stop bringing up your girlfriend? I'm happy to have one. If you don't have one, shut up. If you have one too, you are dislike. But it's funny bringing up that photo. My girlfriend just visited her old high school Monday. So it has me thinking about certain high school memories. And I know for a fact I said this on the show before, told the story on the show before years ago. So this might be new to some of you guys. This might not. This might be old news. But I'm gonna say it again, just for the sake of telling it, because I think it's a fun story. I talk about how Marshawn Lynch was, looked like he was a geek in high school with that old photo. Me, obviously, I definitely got picked on. I have obviously that bridge between me and that high school, and I, if you want to use proper grammar, that bridge is still burnt. Maybe it might get fixed one day. Maybe someone might rebuild it. But that bridge between me and Leo High School is still burnt. I still have I don't have much positive feelings about that school in general. Maybe certain teachers are cool. Certain teachers that I'd be like, okay, cool. You're cool with me. But as far as the school as a whole, there's no love lost. There's no love. There's little love there. But one of the funniest things from that experience, from that, is I was part of the chess team, and this girl hung out with a couple of people. We played chess. It was all cool and all. And I wasn't necessarily a great chess player. I mean, I was good for the time being. I was at my peak, but I wasn't the best. I'm in no means the best chess player on the team. I got my ass whipped. Yeah, I can say that word. I got my ass whipped a lot in chess from my peers. But I forgot which school it was. When I was part of the team, we went to school to challenge another school. I won my matchup. And you know what I did after that? After I won, because again, I hated the school in general, and because granted, as cool as it was to hang out with guys after school, I did want to eventually go home, and I was with my ride and get off until a certain time. So I just pretty much used that as a way to get there. So after all that, after winning that one match, you know what I did? I quit. I quit the team. And why is that significant, Papa? Why are you telling me why you quit after you went 1-0? Want to know why that's significant? Because if you looked at the standings in chess for a long time, I don't know if it's there anymore. I have to Google that. I mean, I'm almost positive it wasn't. It's not there anymore. But for a long time, because I think this was I don't know if this was in my sophomore, junior, or even senior year, but for a long time, even throughout the high school, if you looked at the standings, I was at the top. And I don't know if it was school standings or if it was like percentage standings or something like that, but I was at school. I was at the top with the perfect 1-0 record. Perfect 1-0 record. I was at the top for a long time. And there was a guy that won a couple of matches that had a great, but because they didn't have that 1,000% or that 100% rating, they were at the top. I was at the top at 1-0. You know what? I take back what. You know what? No. I take back what I said about. I was the best. The best. I was the best. I was the best at that time. And maybe they won those games because I was trying to teach. Those were teaching lessons. Those were teaching lessons. And you know what? This is what your opponent could do. They didn't beat me. I was putting my mind into like the opponents. I was trying to see what would they do. That's why they won those matchups. But I was clearly the best. And that's why I quit that thing, because I'm like, you know what? This is beneath me. I'm so great at what I do. All I need is one match to prove my greatness. And I don't need to do it anymore. So ignore the first half of the story when I said, I wasn't the best at things. No, it was clearly 100% because I was so damn good at chess that I knew nobody could touch me. I knew I had to take years off just so I could be on everybody else's level and make things fair. Because it was unfair. It was unfair how great I was. I just want to know. You know why they kept me on the top? Because they knew, okay, all we needed was one match. That's why we kept you at the top for so long. All you needed was one match. And you proved your greatness as the greatest chess player in Chicago. Maybe of all time even. Maybe even of all time. I was legendary. Like I said, I don't know if it's up there anymore, but maybe you could act. I know some friends. I'm not necessarily getting into contact with them anymore, but if you ever do get in contact with some of the guys from that chess team, ask them. They will tell you, I was at the top. I was the best. I was the absolute best. Nobody could touch me. And there's a reason why. At the time, at my peak, everybody was, my friends and family was challenging me to chess, and I won those matchups. Not because it was just a fun thing to do, a casual thing to play and get involved with people, but because I was the best. They wanted to learn from me. They wanted my wisdom. They wanted Blob's wisdom. And that's just a story. That's just a legendary story. So when you listen to this show, we listen to the Blob Show. Sure, I talk about sports. Sure, I talk about nerdy stuff and whatnot. But you also need to realize that you are listening to the words from a legend. And there is no Randy Orton in sight to kill this legend. Now, if I don't show up next week because I can't, don't say it's because of this thing. But yeah, time to plug my stuff. It's out of time. That was a little fun story there. I had a little fun at the end of the show with that. You want to find me, Bob92 on Twitter. I'm still Bob on Instagram. If you know my name, Subject Pharaoh. You can find me there. Hopefully, Eli will be back next week to talk about the first 2 weeks of football. See how his fantasy team goes. I wanted to get his take on that too. I know he did a fantasy draft last week, last minute thing. So I want to get into. Hopefully, he'll be back. Miss you, Eli. Thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for watching. Pray for everybody for those who's about to encounter that hurricane. And enjoy your weekend of football, baseball. Go Cubs, go Bears, go all that. And I know what you guys are saying. Bob, go away. And your wish is my command. See you next week on the Blob Show, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.